Hello and welcome back to Punisher's Paintball, guys. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about the new Pro DNA from Infamous Reflex Sport harness. This is sport mode. This is
super sporty.
The light edition, the less rigid edition. So we're going to be comparing this to the 2023 Carbon CC harness over here. So if you guys like this video, make sure to drop a like, comment, please subscribe. There's an incentive for 10,000 subscribers that we're going to be talking about here soon. So please make sure you subscribe. But when you're done watching the video, make sure you talk to us. How'd you feel about this? What do you think of this? Are you going to pick one up? And use the link in the description to grab either one of these from Punisher's Paintball. Thanks.
I'm so free.
All right, Joel, so I think I heard in another video that you actually were swayed from using a carbon harness to the new Reflex Sport.
Yeah.
I would love to get into
I'm a believer.
Yeah?
I'm a believer, Doug.
He is a believer.
I love carbon. I love carbon products.
Yes, you do.
I love carbon as a business. I love everything about carbon. But I switched just recently. Dun, dun, dun.
And that's a hell of a game changer. And this is new because we just released a Big Boys Pod Packs video for What Fit, and I think the original Reflex you weren't huge on, right?
No, not super big on it.
Yeah.
One of the reasons was the belt is like barely big enough to fit me.
On the original, right?
Just in general, but we'll get into that here in a second.
Okay.
But I was using the Carbon CC harness before. Carbon has just revamped the 2023 harness. So we have the 2023 version here.
Okay.
So it's going to retail for $94.95. That's going to retail for $119.95. So it is a price difference. This is going to be a little bit cheaper. Overall, I really like my carbon harness.
You basically had no complaints until something else was produced to like compete with it.
Well, my biggest issue with the carbon, I will say this, I kind of did have a complaint with it.
Okay.
From a quality perspective, it was great. From a lightness perspective, it was awesome. It comes in a small and medium edition, and it comes in a large XL edition. The large XL edition is one of the few pod packs that actually fits me properly.
Okay.
It has this really nice, like, soft portion back here, super stylish designing, and everything else like that. Really liked it. It flopped.
Yeah.
Like holy hell.
Yeah.
Like I'd be walking with 10, 11 pods, and it would start sagging on me. I kind of tolerate it.
Because it is, like, a lot of packs do that. We're kind of used to it, right?
Right.
But when you start getting into that upper price range and these newer products, you expect less of it.
Yeah, and that was my biggest issue with it. The SC harness is good. I think one of the main reasons, and I've spoken on this before, but anybody that's watching this for the first time, is that your two belts, the origin of them is coming from two different spots, and I definitely think that like causes a portion of the issues.
Sure.
But I really did like my Carbon CC harness, and I wore it for like a year and a half, and it didn't rip. So
yeah. I
I don't do a lot of diving, but I did stretch that sucker around my belly, and never once had any issues with it tearing or anything else like that. So super nice quality. One thing else that I like to mention is that these are tapered. If you look, I'm holding it flat. You can see that it's slanted there, and the idea is that it's easier to get the pod in, and as you push the pod further and further up the sleeve there, it's not going to fall out. Yep. So CC harness, $95, super soft pillow.
Very simplistic.
Very simplistic, small, super bendable design. Now, Reflex Sport harness.
Very rigid piece here, which initially kind of threw me off with the original Reflex, but the stability that kind of encourages has been, I mean, kind of game-changing for a lot of players. Right?
It is, yeah. I mean, I think that's part of the reasons why it doesn't flop.
Yeah.
Another reason why it doesn't
triple
flop
strapped, right?
is because it has 6 overall belts.
Ready?
1, 2,
Hold on.
3,
That Velcro's nuts.
4, 5, 6.
Locked down.
Locked down.
That is locked down right there, bro.
Yeah.
That's not going anywhere.
Yep, and 4 of those originate from the same spot.
Right.
So I think that's part of it.
So you're getting support reinforced by support reinforced by support.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Lumbar support's not as good.
It has a smaller back pad for sure.
It does. I would say it's still comfortable. I don't have any problems with that. It obviously has really stylish design with the Pro DNA and all that stuff.
Yep.
I wasn't crazy about the original Reflex harness because of the bulk of the
The actual pod slots,
yes,
right? Like they were
the actual
huge.
pod slots. Now with this, super nice.
Like,
but two things I like to mention. I've used it for 2 tournaments so far. These are not tapered, so it is easier to get them in from the top. I'm a guy that when I wear them on the sides, I like to keep them up instead of down, and that makes it easier to get it in. Now these, I basically have to take my pod pack off or have somebody put them in.
Yeah, that's what.
Whereas with my
unstructured, yeah.
Whereas with my CC harness, I could literally have it on my back and slide it up myself, and I didn't have that problem. It's a big quirk, and it drives me nuts. I'm still using it, and I will continue to still use it. I wish both of these were offering a 5+ option. Neither one is.
Yeah, they don't make that for this at all. Now, how hard is it to get the pods out from these slots when you're playing?
Easy.
Okay.
Easy. And time will tell. One thing that I did like about my CC harness is that even after a year and a half of use, my people will constantly come up to me and try and push my pods up, and I'd be like, stop doing that. Because I actually kept basically the bottom of my pod, I kept like right here.
You let the pod sit lower because it holds on so tight, right?
It does.
You need
it does
more
a really
pod
good job.
to grab onto.
Because it's tapered. These are not. With time, with use, in and out, in and out, in and out. I wonder if that's gonna.
I'm wondering that too because this looks very, very like thin. It doesn't feel crappy by any means.
Correct.
Because this also has extra stitching around the mouth of it. Like there's just that. There is nothing here.
Yeah.
And you can even see the color change as it stretches. Like.
But I will say, like I've used it for a couple practices. I've used it for 2 tournaments so far, and I haven't had any problems with it.
Okay. That's good.
For what that's worth. Overall, I really like both of these harnesses. I think either one's a really good option. I think for the price point, $95, this is a really good option.
You're gonna have very few complaints with that.
Yeah. I do like the Reflex Sport harness more though.
Yeah.
I won't lie. And it comes in 3 stylish designs. It's a little bit more expensive, but it comes in those 3 stylish designs. If it wasn't for the flop, I'd still be wearing my CC harness. But man, it was to the point where I was like, I couldn't even really carry more than 9 pods on my back because by the time I got to the start box, it was like
falling on your ass.
Yeah, it was falling down on my butt. Yeah. Whereas like this thing, it's stable. It's really stable.
This is a house. This ain't going anywhere. Like I want to know, like, is that like what's the material inside of that? It's
I don't know. What do you think, Doug, between the two?
I have to put them on. I have not worn them.
Oh, either one?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I've yet to try either one on. Maybe we'll step out real quick and do that. But
yeah,
I love the idea of this. I'm almost wondering if it'd be a little too firm for me.
I thought the same thing until I started wearing it, and I actually like the firmness.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like the firmness.
It might be worth it for me to try them on, but I mean...
Yeah, let's go try it on. And one last thing that
I
I like to mention before we step out and let Doug try these on is regarding the belt width. I'm about a 42, 44 waist around the belly. Mm-hmm. When it has paint on it, it stretches more.
Okay.
And I get it around plenty to fit it.
This?
So if you are a big boy, you can still wear this harness. Something to point out. Obviously I'm wearing it, so it has to fit. But
no, yeah, that's valuable. All right, well, and for reference, then I'm about a 34 waist. So let's go see how these fit on me.
All right, Doug. So,
all right,
bro, hang on a second. Get that shit out. Push it this way. Bro, what is that?
My desk. What is what?
Oh my god. It looks so nasty.
Chicken, guac, rice, sour cream, the good stuff.
Okay. All right. So Doug, we're out front of the store here.
My workspace.
Your workspace. Yes. Okay. Now we've got the CC harness, and we've got the Reflex Sport harness. Try them on, Doug.
All right.
I'm curious to see your thoughts.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever put one of these on. Crazy, isn't it? I work here and then I never care to try anything on. I'm also gonna undo this because I know that's gonna cause a problem. So I do have a 34 waist, but being 5'8", I have no business having a 34 waist, but...
This is also a large XL version.
This is the large XL?
Yep.
I mean, that fits me pretty damn snug. Like, that is in there like swimwear. Like, yep. I have that bolted down right now.
Okay.
So with no pods in it, but like...
Yeah.
That's tight enough on me. Like, I'm like, like, it feels firm. I like the support in the middle of my back from that pad. It feels very much like slim. Part of me, like, the thing with carbon packs too is the more pods you take out, the more it tapers down to your actual form. So
Yeah, agreed.
I can feel that with this. I mean, it's comfortable, it's tight, it is what it is. I feel like I can do whatever I want, movement-wise. Like, maybe going forward, it's a little stiff, but it's also because Chipotle belly. So let's see how the Reflex feels comparatively.
Yeah, I will say, like, the CC harness did a good job of contouring to me until I put pods on, and then
it was
usually about 4 to 6 pods was okay. Anything past that is when I really started to get the get it where it was wanting to sag and everything else like that.
Pop sag it.
But
So let's see.
I put 9 pods consistently on, 9 to 11 pods with this harness, and I have yet to have any issues with it falling down. So
open this one and get the other one on in front of it.
Yep.
Okay, here's layer 2 for this. Pull that all the way across. Man, that is already as locked down, if not more, than the carbon.
Yeah, the belt is definitely a little bit stiffer on this one than the carbon.
For sure. But you know what? It's all around, though. It's not like it's just soft on the sides and then hard in the front.
Yeah.
It's all around stiffer. That is not going anywhere.
No, it's not.
So I can feel on my back that it's like definitely like my mobility is limited.
Okay.
I'm even feeling like if I were to like snap and stuff like that, like I can feel that here.
Yeah.
But these are not going anywhere. Like whatever pods that I have on here, that's not going anywhere. It's not as comfortable. I'm just gonna say that.
Okay.
It is not as comfortable, and especially in the front because of all that strappage. But also, like, is it supposed to be? I don't like. For the argument of how much more secure your pods would be, I could definitely see this being a really good investment. I don't know though if I would necessarily care for all of that, but it's hard for me to say because my waist is not. I'm not pushing those big boy sizes, right? So
Right.
like, I'm a little more.
You're not a
middle.
Joel size.
I'm not quite. I ain't small by any means. I'm not small, but I don't know if I would necessarily need this, but undoubtedly the most secure thing that I have put on.
The other thing too is
without a
like
doubt.
you're more of a snake player and everything else like that.
I tend to
So
play the 2 or the 1
so do you
or the
think
6
you'd probably still prefer the CC harness just because it's a little bit more comfortable, it's a little bit more flexible,
Yes.
you're not carrying as much paint?
I'm trying to picture myself like crunched up in like the Snake 2 right now with this thing on, and I'm like,
No.
I would, if you beat it into submission for a bit, then sure, any
Sure.
back is going to be fine. But like off
Yeah.
the gate, like I'm trying to, I'm in here like doing my figure 4, like it's definitely squeezing me a little bit. So
Okay,
it's
so you're
secure as hell though. Like, you know what? Here's a benefit. Here's a benefit for snake players. You ever crawl all the way to like the 50, and by the time you get there, your pack is like on your side? Probably wouldn't happen with
No,
this.
definitely
So
not
really,
happening.
actually, probably a very practical purchase. But yeah, is it worth 120 for the security for what all they did to it? Maybe. I might say it's worth like 100, but by no means is it a bad investment.
Okay.
I will say that.
Yeah, so I'm picking the Reflex Sport harness simply because of the flop. I'm constantly anywhere from 9 to 11 pods when I play. With the CC harness, you're going to get a little bit more comfort. You're going to get the tapered slots and everything else like that. So from a longevity standpoint, we know that the CC harness is reliable.
Yes.
On the Reflex harness, set it up there, Doug.
Or sit
There
up
we
pretty.
go. Yep. So with this, the Reflex Sport harness, you're not going to get the same level of flexibility and everything else like that, but it's definitely not going to flop just because these are 2 pop packs that I've worn. I'm picking the Reflex Sport. That's obviously why I'm wearing it. Doug, you're saying for anybody that's not carrying a ton of paint, maybe the CC harness.
Strictly for comfort, I go for carbon, but practicality-wise, this is not going to turn on you in the snake, and it's not going to flop. So this is a hell of
It's a good option too.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you guys for watching. Much appreciate you stopping by and hanging out and watching me try on some funny size things and showing my belly. Please use the link in the description if you're going to buy anything from Punishers, and as always, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time.
I'm so free.